They finally found a use for Tulsi Gabbard. She is going full speed ahead with the distractathon about Obama's treason in order to distract from what's going on with Jeffrey Epstein. Remember that Tulsi was on Trump's shit list because she issued an intelligence assessment that directly contradicted Donald Trump's. Donald Trump said, we've got to bomb Iran, and I did it because they're close to a nuclear weapon. Tulsi Gabbard's intelligence assessment was, no, they're not. And Trump threw her under the bus, says, I don't care what Tulsi says. She was in the doghouse. But now Trump has a use case for Tulsi Gabbard. And it is for her to distract from everything that's going on and say Barack Obama attempted a coup against Trump. Barack Obama committed treason. They even bring up injections. We'll get to that in a moment. So here's Tulsi yesterday joining Caroline Leavitt for a press briefing. And this is full-blown panic control.
It's a brief summary of the details that you'll find within the House Majority Staff's report in their investigation into the Obama-directed January 2017 Intelligence Community Assessment that leads us to the very same conclusion that we announced in the release of our documents on Friday. The implications of this are far-reaching and have to do with the integrity of our democratic republic.
The implications are, damn, the Epstein files must be really bad for Trump.
It has to do with an outgoing president taking action to manufacture intelligence to undermine and usurp the will of the American people in that election and launch what would be a years-long coup against the incoming president of the United States, Donald Trump.
Up is down, black is white, hot is cold. And of course, they have not a shred of evidence that Obama did any such thing. As president, of course, Barack Obama said, let's figure out what Russia's capabilities are. Could Russia meddle or could Russia hack? But it doesn't matter. This was one of the most unhinged and dangerous press briefings of this administration so far. Tulsi Gabbard adding that there is a disservice being done here to the American people. And of course, she's right. She's only wrong about which disservice that is. Is this irony? Or is Tulsi kind of a moron? Or is Tulsi just desperate to do Trump's bidding to get back on his good side?
Thank you. Question for Director Gabbard. A spokesperson for former President Obama said in a statement earlier this week, quote, nothing in the documents issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. How do you respond to critics like former President Obama and also others on the Hill who say that the administration is conflating apples and oranges here, conflating allegations of actual hacking of voter machines and allegations of interference generally?
I think it's a disservice to the American people that former President Obama's office and others who are criticizing the transparency that is being delivered by releasing these documents. They are doing a disservice to the American people and trying to deflect away from their culpability in what is a historic scandal. And
we still have no evidence of a scandal. We have no evidence that anything other than what was publicly known has taken place. The assessment was Russia is trying to meddle, but Russia does not have the capability to hack election systems and modify results. That's the conclusion, and that is still what we believe today. Now, my favorite moment from this entire thing, there's a lot of things to criticize about CNN, but CNN's Caitlin Collins is really good at triggering MAGA. And she straight up says, Tulsi, are you doing all of this just to try to suck up to Trump because Trump attacked you and you were on the outs? Tulsi doesn't like it. And even Caroline Leavitt doesn't like it. This is a great moment.
Director Gabbard, you referenced the past intelligence reports and assessments on this, including that 2017 one that was signed off, as Ed noted, by every Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committee, including the acting chair of the time, now Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who said in a statement that they did not find any evidence of Russian collusion, but they did find, however, is very troubling, and they found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling. One, are you saying that he's wrong in that statement that he made then? And secondly, what would you say to people who believe that you're only releasing these documents now to improve your standing with the president after he said that your intelligence assessments were wrong?
Well, first, I want to correct something that you stated, which was citing the Senate Intelligence Committee's report as being one and the same. I think you said the intelligence community. The Senate Intelligence Committee has a very different function than the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. The evidence and the intelligence that has been declassified and released is irrefutable. I'm going to let Caroline speak to Secretary Rubio.
I'll speak to both questions. First, on Secretary Rubio, he put out a statement in 2020 following that Senate Intelligence Committee report, and he said what they found is troubling. We found irrefutable evidence of Russia meddling, which the Director of National Intelligence just confirmed for all of you, that Russia was trying to sow distrust and chaos. But what's the outrage in this that Secretary Rubio did not say at the time, the Democrats were saying at the time, is the fact that the intelligence community was concocting this narrative that the president colluded with the Russians, that the president's son was holding secret meetings with the Russians, all of these lies that were never true. And he also said at that time, we discovered deeply troubling actions taken by the FBI under Comey, particularly their acceptance and willingness to rely on the Steele dossier without verifying its methodology or sourcing. The Steele dossier that many outlets in this room ran as the gospel truth, and it was cooked up and paid for by the Clinton campaign. As for your second question, Caitlin, I think who is saying that she would release this to try to boost her standing with the president? Who has said that?
Well, the president has publicly undermined her when it came to Iran. He said she was wrong. He told me that she didn't know what she was talking about. That was on Air Force One on camera.
The only people who are suggesting that the Director of National Intelligence would release evidence to try to boost her standing with the president are the people in this room who constantly try to sow distrust and chaos amongst the president's cabinet. And
That's right, Caitlin. The only problem here is you people. It's the press. Why can't the press get out of the way and let us do and say whatever the hell we want?
It's not working. I will just answer your question directly. I am with the President of the United States every day. He has the utmost confidence.
Yeah. We then moved, and of course, Caitlin Collins is completely correct. Everything Tulsi Gabbard is doing here, and I almost get the sense that she knows she's doing something terrible. Everything Tulsi Gabbard is doing here is meant to get herself back in Trump's good graces. Now, there was another moment which is almost unbelievable. I mean, totally dystopian. Tulsi Gabbard started suggesting the use of tranquilizers by Hillary Clinton.
High-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and that then Secretary Clinton was allegedly on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers.
Oh, God. It's the United States now. We're a joke, folks. We're a joke. Tranquilizers. Now, there is a more sort of pressing and relevant question that was asked. A bunch of the stuff that you're now accusing Obama of, there is a statute of limitations on. What about that? And Tulsi just goes, you know, those questions are really not for me.
And then just quickly, I know you said you would leave the charging to DOJ, but the statute of limitations on conspiracy is 5 years. So what else could they possibly pursue besides treason?
I think that's a great question for Attorney General Pam Bondi. We're providing all of the evidence, all of the intelligence that we have, both redacted and unredacted versions, referring it to the Department of Justice and the FBI.
All right. And then finally, why didn't Trump declassify this stuff during his first term? She doesn't really have an answer.
Gabbard, you declassified these documents, if I'm not mistaken, Friday of last week, correct?
We released them on Friday of last week, the first tranche, yeah.
And sorry, this is related to MLK and other files.
This isn't the first time that President Trump has been president of the United States. He was president from 2017 to 2021. Couldn't the prior DNI under President Trump have declassified these documents? And why didn't that DNI do that at that time?
I can't speak to what happened there. There were several DNIs under the first Trump administration. President Trump faced many challenges from those who were working in the government who sought to undermine his presidency. That's been clearly detailed. What I can speak to is the fact that this was one of the first things that we started to investigate here within this Trump administration.
All right. And of course, the answer that is implied is Trump didn't necessarily have anything that he urgently needed to distract from in the first term. And the reason that now they've released these files just as this Epstein fiasco is reaching a fever pitch is to distract. We're going to continue covering this after the break on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. And I do hope that you're getting the daily audio podcast. It's an hour a day audio podcast available free. You can get it on Spotify. You can get it on Apple Podcasts as well. Quick break, right back. I want to introduce you to an amazing tool that has helped a huge number of people reach their health goals. It is called Lumen, and it's the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath, and on the app, it'll tell you, are you burning fat or carbs, and give you tailored guidance to improve nutrition, workouts, even stress management. Your metabolism is like the engine of your body, how you turn food into fuel. And because your metabolism is at the center of everything your body does, optimal metabolic health can translate to many benefits, including easier weight management and improved energy levels and fitness results. It's a long list. Lumen gives you recommendations to improve metabolic health based on the context of your breath measurement, whether that's first thing in the morning, before and after meals or workouts. And you can get 20% off your Lumen by going to lumen.me/Pakman. The link is in the description.